everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to zombie press into handstand. This is a fun transition into your press handstand that helps to strengthen your back and core. If you don't have a press handstand in your practice, you could also do this to supported headstand, tripod headstand, or forearm stand. All you're going to need is some socks. You're going to need a floor that you can slide around on, enough space, and you might like to have a wall behind you to help support your inversion. So there's a few things that you want to focus on when you warm up for press handstand. You should warm up your wrists, your shoulders. You should focus on flexibility in the hamstrings, as well as strengthening the abdominals and the hip flexors and working your pike compression. So we're going to start off in a downward facing dog. So you're going to have your hands about shoulder width distance apart, your feet about hips width distance apart, and we'll just rock forward into plank on an inhale and rock back to downward facing dog on the exhale. And go through this a few times. This starts to warm up the wrists, the shoulders, and the hamstrings. A good way to warm up your shoulders is dolphin pose, which is basically downward facing dog on your forearms. So you're going to bring your elbows down and pike your hips up. This stretches out the shoulders as well as the hamstrings. And you can also work on finding your pike compression here too by looking forward and just walking your feet forward, trying to get your hips up over your shoulders the best that you can. So you might work on coming up onto your tiptoes. And since we are pressing today, you might try to hover your feet and work a little bit on a press. Next, we're going to work half splits. So you'll start in a lunge with your right foot forward, and you're going to shift your hips back until your left thigh is perpendicular to the floor and the right leg is straight. Feel free to put blocks underneath your hands here. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to hinge forward to fold down over the right leg. And since we're going to be pressing today, we also want to work on compression and hip flexor engagement. So you're going to lift a little bit, point your right toes, and see if you can lift up this leg as if you're trying to kick yourself in the face. And you're going to try that a few times. Try to bring your thigh as close to your chest as possible. And then you can also make it a little bit more challenging by folding down and trying to stay as close to your thigh as possible as you straighten out your arms and lift and compress. Okay, so half split on the other side. We're going to have the left foot forward, the right knee back. Shift the hips back so your back thigh becomes perpendicular to the ground. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold down over that left leg. And again, to find that pike compression and that abdominal and hip flexor engagement, you're going to lift a little bit, point your toes. Inhale, find length. Exhale, scoop in the belly and try to kick your leg up towards you. And you're going to do that a few times. And again, to make this more challenging, fold. Try to stay compressed with your thigh to your chest. And as you straighten out your arms, lift the leg up. So the next thing is full splits. So you're going to start again in half split on the first side. And you're going to slide that leg forward, slide your left leg back, and come into your full splits if you can. Feel free again to put blocks underneath your hands. And don't force the stretch if your body is not there yet. Since we are working on pressing, we can add a little switch here by pressing down into the floor with our hands or pressing into blocks. So you're going to press down, pike up, and try to switch, coming into your full splits on the other side. Take an inhale. Exhale, press the hands down, pike up, and try to switch again. And you're just gonna do this a few times to warm up. And then go for a quick wrist stretch by forward folding and sliding the palms of your hands underneath your feet from the front. Bend the knees or keep the knees straight, it's up to you, but try to bring your rib cage onto your thighs. Let's continue to warm up the spine, the hamstrings, the hip flexors, and the abdominals. So you're gonna start seated nice and tall. Inhale the arms up, and exhale, just fold down deeply over your legs, Paschimottanasana. On your inhale, you're gonna sit back up and reach forward. And as you exhale, you're gonna tuck your tailbone, scoop in your belly, and try to roll down onto your back, vertebra by vertebra. And once you're down, you're gonna lift your legs up and slowly go overhead using your abdominals. Reach your arms up, take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're gonna roll down nice and slow. Again, vertebra by vertebra. Try to keep your thighs close to your chest. Once you come down, you're gonna come up into Navasana, boat pose. See if you can bring your arms parallel to your legs. And then from here, this is your high boat. You're gonna take an inhale. Exhale, go into low boat or Ardha Navasana by rolling the lower back down, rolling down, hovering your legs. Press the low back down, keep your shoulders lifted, reach up, take an inhale, and exhale, scoop back up into Navasana. And then place your legs down. Go forward again into Paschimottanasana. Repeat that a few times. So now it's time to practice your press. Like I said earlier, if you don't have handstand press in your practice, you can always do this to a headstand or a forearm stand. If you're gonna do your handstand press, you're gonna start in a forward fold and root down into your hands. And you wanna make sure that your hands are not out here because that's gonna make it harder for you to lift your hips over your shoulders. So try to get your hands as close to your feet as you comfortably can. Fold down deeply. And as you straighten out your arms, lift up onto the balls of the feet. And we'll start with a little drill, just tapping your toes to your wrists. So see if you can tap your toes to one wrist and then the other. Another good way to practice your press is from standing splits. So this also helps you to work on the hamstring flexibility. So hands down, really close to your feet. Lift up one leg, fold down into your standing splits. And then from here, see if you can press or just tap your standing foot to your wrist. So you want to make sure that with the standing leg, you're really engaging the hip flexors. You're thinking about pulling your thigh really close to your torso, and you're pushing through the hands and pushing through the shoulders. So if you've made it this far with me, now it's time to actually transition with the zombie press. So basically you're gonna be lying prone, lying down, belly down on the floor. Your arms are gonna be straight and your hands are gonna be fixed in place. You're gonna use your shoulders, your lats, your back strength to just pull yourself all the way up into your press handstand. Okay, so start face down, prone. You're gonna really glue your hands into place, spread your fingers wide. When you're ready, start to pull all the way into Piking your hips up, finding a forward fold. Feet really close to the hands, press. Straddle or pike press. And lower back down into your zombie position.